Bingo. Change instead of universe number 48 and Scott expand it to change in the door.
In the eighth spot.
Yeah.
All right.
Change.
All right, thank you.
There's one of that word I see that.
No, he did.
And it's going to particularly a lot of money. From a lot of time running. My son, he seen where
How much?
he hit one out of tri-town, Garrett Silverfield. And that's a pretty deep, behind them. Rod Felton was coach, and Rod said that's the longest run he ever seen in high school.
400.
It was well for him. It went out over the wood.
Oh, wow.
It was a good bomb that
We're in that first five. No strings played.
it's weird. Because I've seen this list before, and the very first thing I thought it was weird that not one Yankee on it except Ricky Henderson, but he wasn't a Yankee.
Hey,
I think he is. Playing for Hall and Fun, so I'm surprised to see. Surprised me not seeing that. Because the number one was simple, I have your career specs. He's surprised not to be different.
Nolan Ryan get over 5,000 strong. Nolan Ryan over 5,000. Ricky Henderson was not great, where he had 49.99. You play it out.
Right at 4 million.
Oh, yeah.
Well, somebody nominated me. I have no idea who did or what they said in the nomination, but somebody nominated me for Channel 18's hometown hero.
How many years have you been doing this stuff?
This is my first season.
Wow.
Overall, this people have been doing some it's like 27.
You bet you Adam go down with he's 34, huh? Adam.
My champ won a couple years behind me, but very long behind me.
It's the title.
I think the year was 27th season.
24th overall.
Come from the wrong, yeah. So we have to work. Emotion. So, yeah. Yeah.
Won't bother him. Then your job, 7 years for the Husky spokesman.
He's never asked me to enact property.
That'll make a lot of people feel good.
But we do it for basketball every year. And I was able to introduce somebody at their home football. We introduce somebody to takes game ball to the official for a certain thing. We do our staff for him as well. But we get praise. That's one praise for a lot of things. They feel that. So if they understand it, you want to recognize people.
I'll pray for his faith now. We get a surgery on it in the season.
You know, I have proof.
I hope he's okay. Because he was on a scooter sitting.
He was on a scooter. Most of the things that there was a scooter. He was sitting down there. You know, he wasn't using the computer to get around.
I'm not wrong. If he was a central cap, he was 110 and 10.
He had to have things that were
48-game win streak, which was a national record. Somebody told me it was broken by Pennsylvania. Not different on Woodville. I get a break in the action. The only thing you're going to be talking about. That's a great song. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education based Indiana High School Athletic Association Varsity Boys Baseball. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO, that's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall from The Rob Kendall Show. That's robkendallshow.com. You can catch him weekdays, 10 to noon. And we'll mention tonight's ball game going to feature again. It's going to be Central Catholic. They travel. They're here with Twin Lakes Indians. We are at Twin Lakes High School in Monticello, Indiana. And we're going to talk here for a moment to Mr. Butch Kramer. Butch Kramer, we spoke about him last night. He's also going to bless us with the national anthem tonight. And Butch Kramer been doing this job for 34 plus years. Great to see you, sir.
It's good to see you, AJ. Always a pleasure talking with you and having you around during the game.
It's always fun to talk to somebody that knows sports as well as you.
Well, I've got a fair amount of knowledge. Been around a little while. 70 years old and still kicking.
I tell you what, you're working for a good guy, Mr. Jake Burton. You couldn't find a better one.
Absolutely, he is a class act, and he is a super knowledgeable baseball guy. Just great, and I love working with him.
I see how he makes up the lineups. I know for a fact he is good.
He definitely is. He puts people where they can help the most, and at the positions they can handle the best. So, just can't say enough good about him.
You were telling me last night you were here for a junior varsity game. Central Catholic played over here. It was darn cold.
Oh, it was low 40s and breezy and dropped the game start. By the time I left here, you're being shielded, and my hands were freezing.
They said 48 yesterday for a pop, 68 today. Go figure.
Yeah, we're in third sleeves today. Now later on, we'll see if it cools off, but it was a welcome break from the last two games.
So, what did you have a good game JV style last night?
Wasn't bad for one inning. It looked like it might be going to get to be a JV game, but it ended up 13-8, which that's not a blowout, and it's there was some good baseball.
That sounds good. I said, well, you do basketball. If you do football, I've seen you at both venues.
I do that, and I do some softball, like our annual 16-team tournament. I do softball, and then if we have sectional, regional, or like this year we have softball semi-state, I do those tournaments. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You're going to read some advertisement spots. I heard Coach come up there and ask you. And you're going to keep the scorebook and keep the scoreboard and do the PA. How are you going to do that?
Years of practice. Years of practice. It's kind of second nature. I keep the scorebook to keep my head in the game. So so I don't lose track of what's going on, and then the rest of it just kind of falls into place.
I tell you what, sometimes it's tough to know who the next batter is going to be when an inning goes by.
Absolutely, especially if you get into substitutions, a lot of substitutions, and sometimes that happens in a JV game where you're trying to get kids some playing time. They run them in and out. It gets a little hard to keep up the book and keep up who's on deck and everything else. But we make it.
We're going to get started here. Thank you for being a visitor, and I appreciate you very much. Butch Kramer, you may not know how much.
Thank you, AG. Like I said, it's just great having you around to visit with and everything during all the seasons. So thank you.
You're great. Thank you.
Sir.
So that is Coach. I tell you what, you have coached, haven't you? Youth ball, but he takes care of it at the varsity level and the JV level. That is Butch Kramer. He'll be the public address announcer. We do thank you for tuning in. Central Catholic Knights are going infield, outfield practice. AJ Bourdonnais did some infield. Coach Bourdonnais hit to the outfield. Now, Coach Bourdonnais handling the infield duties. And we do thank you for tuning in. We'll talk a little bit about each school. We'll mention Lafayette Central Catholic. The Knights have a school enrollment of 302. They're Class 2A, sectional 37. They'll play their sectional at North Montgomery High School. There'll be 7 teams in that sectional. They will be Benton Central Bison, Delphi Oracles, Lafayette Central Catholic Knights, North Montgomery Chargers, Rensselaer Central Bombers, Seeger Patriots, Western Boone Stars. We mentioned the athletic director at Central Catholic is Mr. Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant AD is Charlie Roberts. The athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. Central Catholic High School is located at 2410 South 9th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. You can reach them by phone by dialing 765 474 3524. On the web, you can find them at lccathletic.com. They wear the colors navy blue and white. They perform in the Hoosier Athletic Conference. In the Hoosier Athletic Conference, we'll talk about the West Division. This game getting ready to happen. Going to be the second of 2 games, a 2-game set. And each team in the West Division will play each other twice. So tonight it's Twin Lakes visiting Twin Lake. It's Lafayette Central Catholic visiting Twin Lakes High School. So in the West Division, it is Central Catholic, Twin Lakes, Benton Central, Rensselaer Central. On the other side, it is Logansport, Hamilton Heights, Tipton, West Lafayette, and Western. The head coach for the Central Catholic Knights is Coach Tim Bourdonnais. He is a 1987 graduate from Central Catholic High School. And now we'll talk about the Twin Lakes Indians. Twin Lakes Indians, they have a school enrollment of 663. They're in Class 3A, Sectional 23. Also 7 in that sectional. Logansport Berry, McConaughey Brave, Northwestern Tigers, Peru Tigers, Twin Lakes Indians, West Lafayette Red Devils, Western Panthers. We'll mention the athletic director at Twin Lakes High School is Dan Siles. And we'll also mention Twin Lakes High School is located at 300 South 3rd Street, Monticello, Indiana, 47960. You can dial them by phone by dialing 574 583 7108. On the website, it is tlschools.org. They wear the collars red and white. They also perform in the Hoosier Athletic Conference. And we'll just mention those 9 teams alphabetically. They are Benton Central, Central Catholic, Hamilton Heights, Logansport, Rensselaer Central, Tipton, Twin Lakes, West Lafayette, Western. The head coach at Twin Lakes High School, baseball coach, is Mr. Jake Burton. So, baseball on a Wednesday. The sun is glistening. Got some blue sky. Got some scattered out serious clouds. And I'm looking for a good day on the diamond. It is blowing out. It's blowing out to left center field. Got a little bit of a wind blowing out right there, probably 15, 20 mile an hour. I know one time I was here with Jerry Glover. We were doing the ball game, Central Catholic here with Twin Lake. And a gentleman by the name of Metzger, I think he was the 3-hitter for Central Catholic. It was blowing out to right field severely. He got 2 up in the jet stream, had 2 home runs. Didn't get a lot of it, but they floated right out of here. And the umpires are on hand right now. They just walked in. 5:27 on the wristwatch. This game was scheduled to start at 5:30. It's no big deal. Going to start a little bit after. They're going to have the national anthem. We're going to get to hear Butch Kramer with the national anthem. And the Knights are down the right field line. They're having a little powwow down there. The Twin Lakes already had their powwow, and no pun intended for the Indians. And both teams are going to include the Lord in this game. I believe Twin Lakes already has. So they're going to have a plate meeting at home plate, umpires there. And we did talk last night about last year, Twin Lake and Central Catholic. They did split last year. And I will mention Twin Lakes got the win on April the 8th. That was a home game for Twin Lake. And then the very next day, Central Catholic got the win, a home game on April the 9th. So they'll see what happens today. Both these teams, plenty good in the game of baseball. And we'll talk about Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes after today, they're going to have a game on Saturday. They'll play Clinton Central. It will be right here at Twin Lakes High School. Central Catholic. Central Catholic did add a ball game. They're talking about some rain. I don't know what's going to happen. It might be an early morning rain. Coach Bourdonnais entered Indianapolis Kings. There'll be a home game on Friday, and they'll start that game, they said, at 6 o'clock. So the Indianapolis Kings are evidently a homeschool team. Coach Bourdonnais made it evident that they started their season 6-0. So homeschool team, they got to travel. Some of them don't have buses. Some of them have to travel by carpool to get to the games, and some of those games are a pretty good travel in mileage. And we'll also mention Central Catholic will also play on Saturday. That'll be a 4 p.m. game. Central Catholic Knights will travel to Highland, Indiana. Pretty good jog right there. Highland, Indiana, going to do battle with the Trojans. And Highland, Indiana, they're going to be playing at 9135 Erie Street. If you want to set your GPS, 9135 Erie Street, E-R-I-E. That's in Highland, Indiana, 46322. And then Central Catholic will have a makeup game. They were going to play Riverton Park, the Panthers, second game of the season, but Mother Nature said no. We're going to drop some rain. That game was supposed to happen on April the 1st. They'll make up that game this coming Monday, April 13th. That'll still be a 6 o'clock game. It'll be down there at Riverton Park. So the coaches and the umpires are going to talk it over around the home plate area. And the Knights are going to bat first. Knights are the visiting team on the scoreboard. And we'll go ahead and let you know the lineup for the Knights. Batting first for the Knights tonight, wearing number 12, third baseman Alex Schumer. Batting second will be number 3, shortstop L.J. Whitford. Yes, he will play shortstop tonight. Batting third, number 34, the catcher Isaiah Hopkins. Batting fourth, number 11, second baseman. Yes, he'll play second base tonight. That's Mikey Stapleton. Batting fifth, he'll wear number 30, first baseman Gus Sandberg. Batting sixth, number 21, the pitcher Hayden Keller. Batting seventh, number 41, the left fielder Brennan Van Kirk. Batting eighth, number 5, the right fielder Colton Minnick. And batting ninth, number 2, he'll play center field Hoy Dick. The Knights are not going to use a designated hitter in tonight's ball game, but Twin Lakes Indians will use one. We'll just go through their lineup here quickly. We'll mention batting first, wearing number 2, second baseman Cooper Dold. Batting second, number 27, center fielder Mason Brummett. Batting third, number 6, shortstop Carson Wagner. Batting fourth, number 3, third baseman Kate Goyer. Batting fifth, number 7, Pete Miller. He'll do the pitching. Batting sixth, number 5, right fielder Trey Hayworth. Batting seventh, number 12, Austin Robertson. He'll play first base. Batting eighth will be number 10, Judson Gorton. He'll bat in place of left fielder number 9, Josh Crowell. And batting ninth, number 33, Nathan Houchin. He'll play the catcher's position. We'll set this down.
Shine bright stars when the parent was born, for the right swing was so good in the spring. I did
Our national anthem. That was not Memorex. That was Butch Kramer. If you didn't know, I was talking to Butch Kramer before the game. We were talking about the 50-year anniversary for IU and a 32-0 season. I told Butch that I was 10 years old. I sat in front of the TV and I kept score. And Butch let me know that he was serving our country at that same time. And that's why you hear such a rendition from Butch Kramer in the national anthem. It's great. So working on the hill tonight for Twin Lakes Indians, it's going to be Keaton Miller. Keaton Miller played a good offensive game last night. Keaton Miller is going to get some warm-up tosses. It's going to be his first outing of the season. They played 2 games. The right-handed pitcher, Keaton Miller, will mention. He wears number 7, listed as a right-handed pitcher and an infielder. He's a junior class member, 6'3", 185. He's a bit lanky. He has a good build for a pitcher. So he's going to pitch with 1 foot on the rubber from the windup. And we'll mention his catcher tonight's ball game, Peyton Pouchin. I was talking about Peyton last night. Peyton is a common name, as you know, for Peyton Manning. Some moms and dads have a baby, a boy baby, and they name their boy Peyton because Peyton is such a great guy. I'm talking about Peyton Manning. We'll mention at first base, number 12, Austin Robertson. At second base, number 2, Cooper Dold. At shortstop, number 6, Carson Wagner. At third base, number 3, Pate Goyer. In left field, number 9, Josh Crowell. Is that correct, Crowell? Crowell. Okay. Josh Crowell. In center field, number 27, Mason Brummett. In right field, number 5, Trey Hayworth. And we'll have a number 5 playing right field for the Knights, Colton Minnick. Stepping in, first batter, 5:36 p.m., Alex Schumer. Going to play him straight away in the infield, straight away in the outfield. Left-handed batter, first pitch of the game. Right down meridian, fastball taken for a strike. He was watching one. We all knew that. We saw that from his demeanor after the pitch. Here comes the wind in the pitch from Miller. Same location, strike 2. Fastball, 0-2 count to Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer, a senior class member. Here comes the pitch inside at ball 1. Count goes 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This place is immaculate. The infield and the grass is cut beautifully, and the mowing looks great in the outfield. Next pitch, inside, it's going to be outside and a little bit tall, ball 2. So the outfield is mowed straight away. The infield just the same. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball, left side. It might land in territory, but I think it did land in the field of play, but up against the fence. So a 2-2 count. Second time to Alex Schumer, working from the windup. Here comes the wind and the delivery. Outside a ball. Home plate umpire is patient. That was a patient umpire. A lot of umpires might have called that strike 3. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. Umpire's left-handed, Butch. Left-handed umpire. They're rare, But we saw there 3-2 count again. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball off the glove. Houchin's glove. Couldn't clean it. It's going to be 3-2 for the third time to Alex Schumer. So the pitch count is rising. Alex Schumer looking for a good pitch to hit. Good step back in. Left-handed batter, straightaway stance. Now the windup, peering over the glove, getting a signal. Here comes the 3-2 again. Strike three, inside edge. Going to strike him out. He'll go down looking. And there's one out here in the top of the first inning. So ball replacement brought up by the second batter for the Knights. It's going to be number 3, L.J. Whitford. Shortstop. He'll play shortstop in this ball game. Working from the windup. Keaton Miller. Right-handed batter, L.J. Whitford. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, right side, out of play. No balls, one strike. Top of the first inning, just beginning. Last night, over 2.5 hours in the cold. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. Top of the zone. Top of the zone, looking for that hand over fist swing. If that ball is capable to be swung at hand over fist, it's a strike. Ground ball, second base, going to be fielded by Cooper Dold. He'll toss it. First base side, Austin Robertson. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. So Knight's going to send to the plate. 3-hitter, he's the catcher. Number 34, Isaiah Hopkins. As mentioned, Isaiah Hopkins got a home run, game 1 at Bishop Chatard. And it was like a plane taking off the runway. He'll step in. He'll bat nobody on base. Third at bat in the inning for the Knights. 2 outs. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Miller. Right across the dish. Strike called. No balls, one strike. It'd be out. Absolutely. But says breaking ball. Took him a little bit off of it. Here comes the 0-1. Going to be a hit by pitch. In the batter's box. Hopkins is hit by pitch. He'll jog down the first base. You could tell he'd rather swing the bat. But he's at first base now. There are 2 outs. And next batter, 4-hitter, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Mikey Stapleton going to play second base in today's ball. So doing the running for himself with 2 outs at first base, the catcher, Isaiah Hopkins. Out of set, first pitch. You're going to pop one up, second base calling for it. That's Dold. Just a couple of steps out in the grass. He'll make the catch. So the Knights leave 1 on base. They come up with no runs. They send 4 to the plate in the top of the first inning. And no score. The Twin Lakes Indians going to bat in the bottom half. And we'll mention this game is brought to you in part by Scott Gashaw. Scott Gashaw tells me when time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana Middle School and High School athletics. Scott Gashaw also will mention, bringing you this contest is Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest, it's a brand new coffee shop in downtown Thorntown, Indiana. Thorntown's Cozy Coffee Cafe. The owner is Robin Warnoff, along with her and her husband, Eric. You can reach them by phone, 765 592 1530. That's 765 592 1530. I primarily tell you that because they do have a private event rental space. It's the opposite side of their coffee shop. It's a pretty big area. I've been in that area. That's there at Robin's Nest, right there in Thorntown at 102 West Main Street, Thorntown. You can reach them at online, I should say by email. Robin's, that's a Z, ROBINZ, Nest Cafe at gmail.com. While on the pitcher's rubber, he's going to pitch from the stretch. Start the game from the stretch. It's going to be Caden Keller. Caden Keller will let you know. He wears number 21 for the Knights. Caden Keller, 5'11", 190. He's a pitcher, a first baseman, and an outfielder. He's a member of the junior class. So doing the catching, his battery partner is number 34, Isaiah Hopkins. At first base, number 30, Gus Sandberg. At second base, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. At shortstop, L.J. Whitford. He'll wear number 3. Alex Schumer at third base, number 12. In left field, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. In center field, number 2, Coy Dick. And in right field, number 5, Colton Minnick. So they're getting ready for baseball. Hopkins throws it down, second base. And Alex Schumer will put the ball back in the glove of Hayden Keller. So first batter for Twin Lakes, bottom of the first, going to be number 2, Cooper Dold. He's playing second base, has already been busy with 2 plays. Here comes the first pitch from Keller. Down Meridian, a bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. So working from the stretch, Caden Keller, here's a second pitch, outside, ball 2. You can see that this umpire has the theory of watching the pitch out of the hand, thinking strike, 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 until it's proven to be a ball. Next pitch comes in above the zone, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Cooper Dold. Turn in signals out of the stretch. The set, here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike called, outside edge. Might have been a borderline strike, but a 3-0 count. Umpire's going to give benefit of the doubt to a pitcher. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Going to be a foul tip. Umpire says off the glove. Foul ball. Count goes 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning. Cooper Dold facing Caden Keller. Here's the pitch. Back up the middle. Get base hit. Goes on through, and a good effort there by shortstop L.J. Whitford. But it's going to be a base hit in the book for Cooper Dold. Cooper Dold last night had a base hit. I take that back. He had one on the season at this point, but he had a good running the bases night with 5 stolen bases. Cooper Dold at first base now. Stepping in, Mason Brummett. Left-handed throw over to first base, nonchalant. Catch is made, he'll throw it right back. That's Gus Sandberg. Pretty good marginal lead there. Maybe not so much this time. Here's the pitch. Going to be a ball. It's going to go behind the back of Brummett, back to the backstop. And Cooper Dold moves up 90 feet. Cooper Dold now at second base. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. Last night in the top of the first, Twin Lakes Indians came up with 3. Central Catholic matched them with 3 of their own in the bottom of the first. Alice said he'll check second base. Here's the pitch. Dold's going to take off for third base. Throw by Hopkins. A little bit right of the bag, and Schumer had to bring the ball from the opposite side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evidently, he's so what this umpire is checks and balance, isn't he? He's doing an okay job. I tell you what, but you are busy over there. People know that. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Got the outside edge. So Brummett goes down the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peering and looking at signals. Hayden Keller, here's the 1-2. Swung on, ground ball, second base. Dole's going to try to score. He will, and they'll get the play at first base for the second out. And that was Mikey Stapleton over to first. Got Sandberg with 2 outs. So 2 outs on the diamond. 1 run in. Clears the bases. Stepping into bat, Carson Wagner. Shortstop wears number 6. Here comes the wind and the pitch. I should say the stretch. Pitch comes in outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the first inning. Out of the set, here comes the pitch to Wagner. He lets it go by. It's a ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Wagner steps back in. He's a member of the senior class. Pitch comes in inside half. Strike called. The fastball. Count goes 2-1. Three seniors on this Indians ball team. Jensen Gordon and Jared Luna, the other two. Gonna pop one up right side. Might be playable. It's gonna be a foul ball out in front of the Knights screen. Knights have a fence right there in front of them. They're pretty much all of them out on the fence. That ball lands in playable territory, but a hard ball to get to. Hopkins made a good effort from the catcher's position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, low for a ball. Count goes full. 3-2 to Carson Wagner. Here comes the pitch. Swung on to take it right side. It's going to be a fair ball. It's going to be caught in right field by Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick backs up, catches it in front of the warning track. And I take that back. There was not 2 outs a while ago. There was just 1. Now there are 2. And stepping into bat, the 4-hitter number 3, Tate Goyer. Goyer, right-handed batter. Pretty good-sized young man. Here comes a pitch from Keller. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Goyer, straightaway stance in the batter's box. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, right-handed batter. Tate Goyer wears number 3. Swing and a miss. Goyer plays to the third base position. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, 1 run in for the Indians. Here comes the 1-2. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flag is in right field. It's blowing out to center field, maybe across the diamond. Out of the set position, Keller, who's the pitch. Swung on, you'll pop it up. It'll be shallow in the right center field. Coming in to make the catch, again, it's Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick catches the 3rd out in the inning. The Knights get out of the inning after 1 completes. Lafayette Central Catholic, nothing in Twin Lakes. 1 run in the bottom half of the first. We'll go to the top of the 2nd inning. We do thank you for tuning in, and we'll mention this game is also in part being brought to you by McCormick Printing and Office Supply. Attention baseball fans, McCormick Printing Impressions and Office Supplies is proud to support our local youth athletes this season. For more than 50 years, MPI has been helping families, businesses, and teams make their best impression. From banners and shirts to business cards, forms, and office supplies. Family owned and operated, MPI believes in quality, service, and supporting the community we all love. So the next time you need something printed, big or small, think of McCormick Printing Impressions, where every project starts with the care and ends with excellence. That's McCormick Printing Impressions. They're in Tipton. Call them 765-675-9556. Stepping into bat for the Knights. Number 30, Gus Sandberg. First pitch from Miller. Strike called outside half. Bringing the fastball. Step back in, Gus Sandberg. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Near the same location, just a bit outside. Count goes 1-1. Sandberg, a senior athlete for the Knights. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gus Sandberg, first batter for the Knights here in the top of the 2nd inning. Working from the windup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and take it out of play right side. He'll protect his zone. He'll stay in that box with another 1-2 count. Right-handed batter, Gus Sandberg. As a pitcher, I should say as a freshman, did quite a bit of pitching for the Knights. Pitch comes in, he'll take a shot. It'll go to center field, left center field gap. And pretty good motion right there, Mason Brummels. from center field. He makes the catch in left center field. There's one out. So next batter in the lineup for the Knights, we're going to see their pitcher, number 21, six-hitter, Caden Keller. He's a left-handed batter. Caden Keller steps in. Here comes the pitch from Keaton Miller outside, ball one with a fastball. One ball, no strike. Keller, he has a decorated bat. It's an aluminum. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He'll foul this one left side. It'll go out of play. Goyer thought about giving it a look. Found out it was out of play. Count goes 1-1. One ball, one strike. Keaton Miller peering over the glove, looking at signals. Here comes the wind and the pitch. This comes in just missed, just above the zone, outside edge. So 2-1 count. Caden Keller, here's the pitch. Outside, ball three. 3-1 count. Pitcher facing the pitcher right now in this ball game. Keaton Miller from the windup. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on, foul ball left side. Caden Keller getting the bat through the zone in a heartbeat. So they're out of baseballs, looking for a baseball replenishment. Well, toss one in from the Knights dugout. So one ball in the game. Umpire's pouch is empty. They only need one baseball. One ball, two strikes. Ball's made live. Working from the windup. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. A healthy cut. And he'll walk back to the dugout. There are two outs. Here in the top of the second inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. Seven hitter, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Playing left field for the Knights, a right-handed batter. Working from the windup, both feet together. Here comes the pitch from Miller upstairs, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Stepping back in, straightaway stance for Van Kirk. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. One ball, one strike. Knights batting in the top of the second inning. It's a one-run ball game. Indians got one in the first. Swing and a miss. Strike two. One ball, two strikes. Might have taken a little bit off of that pitch. Keaton Miller. He'll peer in, look at signals over the glove. Both feet together on the rubber. Here comes the pitch. They're going to call him out. Strike three. Might have been top of the zone, but the very top right there. And we'll mention Knight's going to go down in order. No runs, no hits. And we'll mention after 1.5, still 1-0 ball game. Twin Lakes in front. And again, we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll also mention another sponsor for this game is Fritz and Fishers. Fritz and Fishers and in Noblesville, celebrating 43 years in the car business. They are in the heart of the Nickel Plate District, late model cars and trucks. Each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. They have two Hamilton County locations. One is Fritz and Fishers at 8599 East 116th Street. You can dial them there at that dealership, 317-842-2228. The second location in Noblesville. It's actually between Noblesville and Westfield. And if you haven't been to Hamilton County and witnessed Fishers, Westfield, and Noblesville, they are on the upswing. And I think that's a mild understatement. We'll mention right there in Noblesville, it's fritzandfishers.com. And we'll mention their dealership there on State Road 32. You can reach them at 317-773-2232. Hopkins throws it down to second base. Jog out, talk with his infield, talk with his pitcher, Caden Keller. We're going to see a right-handed batter for the Indians. He's the 5-hitter, number 7, Keaton Miller. Keaton Miller doing the pitching in this ball game. He played second base last night. We'll step in, right-handed batter. Working from the stretch, left-handed pitcher, Caden Keller. First pitch to Miller, base hit right up the middle. Ground ball across the dirt there and picked up in center field by Coy Gick. So one runner aboard. Keaton Miller at first base. Next batter for the Indians, six hitter, number 5, Trey Hayworth. He plays right field, another right-handed batter. They'll call time in the box. They'll grant him time. I think Keaton Miller was still putting his mitt on, his sliding mitt. They granted time in at the plate. But working from the stretch. Now the set. Caden Keller, he'll throw over nonchalant. Getting back easily is Keaton Miller. And stepping back in, number 5, Trey Hayworth. Peering in, looking at Sager. Out of the stretch, now the set. Caden Keller, he's going to try to pick off move again. He's got that right foot dropping less than 45 degrees. I know there is no 45-degree rule, but that is a call made by the umpire. He didn't make it there. So curveball, backdoor curveball misses a bit tall. Count goes 1-0. Out of the set position, Keller looks at first base a few times. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, going to call that a strike. Count goes 2-1 to number 5, Trey Hayworth. Runner aboard at first base for the Indians is Keaton Miller. Here comes the pitch from Keller. Foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So chasing that ball right there is Judson Gordon. Judson Gordon, he's going to bat as a DH here in a couple of batters. Here comes a set. Checks first base. Keller will check again. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Drop third strike. Hopkins went ahead and tagged him even though first base was occupied. There's 1 out. So runner at first base still, Keaton Miller. We'll see if Coach Burton wants to get him on his horse, get him into scoring position. Stepping into bat, 7 hitter, number 12, Austin Robertson, first baseman. Keller, here's the pitch. Swung on, you're going to foul it right side. Is it playable? It's going to be up against the screen, the foul pin. They've got a nice screen here, protects a lot of spectators, and it keeps the ball on the surface, on the inside. They lose very little baseballs that way. These baseballs, probably $5 a piece, I would guess. I think MLB $7. Here comes a pitch from Keller. Low, good block there by Hopkins. Ball 1. Count goes 1-1. 2-7 hitter Austin Robertson. Runner at first base. They had a check on right there. We'll step back in. Here and in, looking to say Caden Keller. Looks at first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. You're going to call that a ball just outside. Home plate umpire, you think he's going to call a strike, but he doesn't. But he's just checking the baseballs. As mentioned, they're going to check his swing right there. They wanted to know if he went. He says no. They check with the B position umpire. He says no. And he'll step back in. Trey Hayworth. Take that back, Austin Robertson. Keaton Miller still at first base. Here comes a pitch. Pop fly, foul territory, giving it a look at first base is Gus Sandberg. He'll make the catch. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. So Gus Sandberg makes a foul catch, gets that second out. Keaton Miller, the base hit up the middle. He's still at first base. He's the leadoff batter in this inning. Peering in, looking at signals. Caden Keller in the batter's box. Judson Gordon. They'll foul 1 right side out of play. Judson Gordon wears number 10. He's batting in the 8th spot. He is the DH. He's batting in place of left fielder number 9, Josh Prowl. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. Here comes the 0-1. Low and inside. Short hops the glove of Hopkins. Can't make a throw. Keaton Miller was reading the dirt. He took off probably on his own. He's at second base now. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Jedson Gorton. Jedson Gorton, he's a member of the senior class. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Count goes 2-1. Jedson Gorton, he's listed as an outfielder and infielder, and he's a right-handed pitcher. 5'9", 170. 2 balls, 1 strike. Appearing in, looking at signals. He'll check second base out of set. Check again. Here's the 2-1. Outside of ball. Nope, they're going to call that a strike. A little bit delayed on the signal. I'm sure they're knowing at home plate that he's calling it pretty much simultaneously. But we find out late. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Try to check his swing. They're going to say he went. Home plate umpire did not need help. And so they're going to go to first base. I'm not sure here, but the Knights get the final out on strike 3. Strike 3. He didn't go to first base. I tell you what, back in the day, that A.J. Przinsky pretty much brought a new rule into play. A.J. Przinsky dropped third strike. He walked back to the dugout. He didn't make it to the dugout. He was almost ready to step down the step, and he ran directly to first base and made it before they threw him out on a drop third strike. Now they have an abandonment rule. Abandonment rule means if you get drop third strike, your last strike, and you step towards your dugout 1 step, you've given yourself up for the opportunity to run to first on a drop third. So we're going to the top of the 3rd inning. And we'll mention Twin Lakes come up with no runs in the 2nd. But we'll go to the top of 3rd. It's a 1-0 contest. Twin Lakes in front. And we also thank you. This game is in part being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. You can let Lisa look or let Lisa list residential and corporate relocations. Lisa now has complimentary staging. She'll help you get your house looking nice to help you sell it quicker. That's Lisa Stokes Bear. Call her or text her. 317-513-4086. Knights stepping into bat. First pitch, outside edge strike called. In the batter's box for Lafayette Central Catholic is the 8-hitter, number 5, Colton Minnick. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Wait a minute. Count goes no balls, 2 strike. Right-handed batter, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick been swinging a good bat. Had a good outing versus Bishop Chittard. Pitch comes in low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No signals given. Coach Boardman. First batter, top of the 3rd for the Knights. Here comes the pitch. Gonna pop one up. Playable on the infield. Pop fly, picked up straight behind the pitcher's mound by Carson Wagner, the shortstop. There's 1 out. So the next batter in the lineup for the Knights going to be the 9-hitter, number 2, Coy Gick. Coy Gick, the center fielder, right-handed batter, wearing those New Balance cleats. Here comes a wind and the pitch from Miller. Try to check his swing, but it is a called strike right down Meridian. No balls, 1 strike to Gick. Here comes the second pitch. Low and away, though, going to call that a strike. Outside edge at the kneecaps, count goes 0-2 is the pitch from Miller. Outside, ball 1. Keaton Miller does not waste any time. Keaton Miller gets the ball back, and he's ready to pitch. 1 ball, 2 strike. Here comes the pitch to Gick. Ground ball, third base, picked up by Goyer. He'll throw across the diamond, and he'll get the put out with number 12, Austin Robertson. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. So the next batter going to step in. He'll bat for the 2nd time, Alex Schumer. Schumer is the leadoff batter in today's ball game. Where's number 12, third baseman? Schumer in 2 ball games. He's got 9 plate appearances, 5 at-bats. First pitch, strike called. Schumer batting .800 on the season. He's got 4 hits, 3 singles, and 1 double. Ground ball back to the pitcher's mound. Keaton Miller puts his glove down, comes up with a baseball. He'll jog to first base, and he'll toss it underhanded to Robertson. And there are 3 outs here in the top of the third inning. After 2.5, Twin Lakes 1, Central Catholic 0. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Camino and Company. Camino and Company, you can find them online at camino-and-company.com. Camino and Company, they're in downtown Noblesville. Camino and Company is a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers, small business partners, and the Camino and Company founders. Their mascot is a 1984 El Camino SS. And that El Camino is owned by Carly Witham Elbrecht's grandpa. That's D.E. Witham. And we'll mention the goal at Camino and Company is to please each customer from their concepts to the Camino and Company completion. You can explore their website again. Find them at camino-and-company.com. If you've got a wedding that you need flowers provided, that is a good choice. That's Camino and Company. They're in downtown Noblesville, but they will travel. Camino and Company. So getting ready to bat here in the bottom of the third. Going to step in. He's a 9-hitter, number 33, Peyton Houchin. Peyton Houchin does the catching for Coach Burton. So still on the rubber for Central Catholic, Caden Keller. The one-run ball game. Twin Lakes got one in the bottom of the first inning. Out of the set position, Caden Keller. Here's the pitch to Houchin. Pitch comes in, bottom of the zone, strike called. No balls, one strike. Houchin steps back in, right-handed batter, facing the lefty. Swung on, ground ball, third base. Alex Schumer, he'll throw across the diamond, frozen rope. To Gus Sandberg, there's one out here in the bottom of the third. So the next batter going to step in for Twin Lakes. He'll bat for the second time. That's number 2, Cooper Dole. Cooper Dole hit a ground ball right up the middle, got to first base. But step in right now with one out. Right-handed batter, Cooper Dole. Now the set. Here's the pitch from Keller. Right across the dish, outside half, cold strike, fastball. Step back in. From the stretch position, here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Cooper Gold, has mentioned, last night he had 3 at-bats. He ended up scoring 3 of the 7 runs. Foul ball, back to the screen. It'll save the baseball to the inside of the field. Wagner will check it and track it down. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cooper Dole. Here comes the pitch. Backdoor curveball, got the edge, strike called. He'll go down looking. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. So next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 27, Mason Brummett. Mason Brummett, center fielder. That's in the second spot. He had an older brother. What was his name? His older brother? Thumping you too. I couldn't think of it last night. But he was a good player too. Real good. So first pitch comes in. Strike called. Count goes 0-1. Here's the pitch from Keller to Brummett. Ground ball. First base. Gus Sandberg catches it on her. He'll field it on a backhand. But Caden Keller a little bit late getting to first base. And I'm probably going to call that an infield kick, even though. So Mason Brummett is at first base with 2 outs. So stepping in, 3-hitter number 6, Carson Wagner, the shortstop. Working from the stretch, Caden Keller. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set, he'll check first base. Check again. Here's the pitch. Nope, they're going to throw over. Back safely is Brummett. So if they get the ball back to Keller, go peer in, look at signals from Isaiah Hopkins. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Take that back. My 2-0 count. 1-1 count. There we go. 1-1 count. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Going to go back up the middle. Going to get the gap, right center field. Making a good effort there was Gick. Couldn't catch it. He laid out for it. It's up against the warning track and coming around from first base. Rummet going to score a run. And Carson Wagner ends up at third base with a slide-in triple. And so 2 runs on the scoreboard for Twin Lakes. The ball was picked up at the warning track. Gick tried to make the catch. With 2 outs, you got to go for the catch. He couldn't come up with it, and Colton Minnie picked it up near the warning track. Threw it back in, hit the cutoff. So at third base now, 1 base runner for the Indians. Carson Wagner. In the batter's box, Tate Goyer, the 4-hitter. Swung on, a foul ball. That was a breaking pitch. Got a piece of it. Count goes 0-1. Tate Goyer, 4-hitter, third baseman for Coach Burton. There and then looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes a pitch from Keller. Outside of ball. Good block. Good block there by Isaiah Hopkins on the short hop. Guy on third base saved the run. Timeout on the diamond. Coach Bordenay going to walk out, talk with his infield with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Cooper Dole has scored here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a 2-0 contest. And we'll also mention Camino and Company. They do now sell coffee. You can get their coffee online at CaminoCoffee.com. Again, CaminoCoffee.com. You'll be glad you did. Camino and Coffee, they get their coffee at Noble Coffee and Tea. Camino and Company, they are the mobile flower shop we just spoke of. They're based in downtown Noblesville. They're on the Courthouse Square on the north side, 876 Logan Street. Camino and Company, also CaminoCoffee.com. So, stepping back in the batter's box, number 3, Tate Goyer, third baseman. Runner at third base for the Indians. It's Carson Wagner. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Count goes 2-1. And Isaiah Hopkins working double time right there to keep the ball in front of him with a runner at third. 2-0 contest. Indians in front. Out of the set, Caden Keller. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, right side. Going to end up in the Knights dugout. So everybody paying attention. Up on the screen. Tate Goyer steps back in. 2-2 count, 2 outs. 3rd inning. Home team batting in the bottom half. Here's the pitch. Swing a miss. Backdoor curveball. Got him. A little bit off speed. Keller picks up the strikeout. A swinging strikeout to Goyer. So Twin Lakes does come up with a run. Bottom half. We'll have played 3 innings. Twin Lakes 2. Central Catholic Knights 0. And I will also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by the ultimate Kentucky getaway. You can escape to a one-of-a-kind retreat in the heart of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, where rolling hills, world-famous distillery, and unforgettable memories await. Welcome to your private 6-bedroom estates set on 7 scenic acres of peaceful countryside. Spend your days exploring legendary bourbon stops. Then come home to unwind in the hot tub under the stars. Or challenge your friends to a game of billiards. Ask them to play a game of pool. You can practice your swing right there at the putting green or relax by the fire pit as the night sets in. And when it's time to wind down your private movie theater, the room is waiting. Whether it's a bourbon weekend, family gathering, or group getaway, there's space for something and everyone. You can reach them. You can text for questions or booking information 317 442 7513. First pitch, top of the fourth, outside of ball. In the batter's box for the night, two-hitter number 3, L.J. Whitford. Here comes the wind from Miller. Second pitch to Whitford. Outside edge called strike. Count goes 1-1. First batter, top of the fourth. Nobody out. Infield playing straight away. Outfield just the same. Breaking pitch ends up outside, ball 2. Pretty good break right there by Keaton Miller. With that wind in your face, you're going to get a good break. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. Right side. Goes out of play. 2-2 count to Whitford. Whitford, a sophomore. Pretty good athlete. Plays a good middle infield position. Played second base last night. Here's the pitch. Going to go base hit, left center field. He picked up in left field by Josh Crowell. And he'll get back to first base, a base hit off the bat of L.J. Whitford. L.J. Whitford entered tonight's game with 2 games under his belt, 9 plate appearances, 7 at-bats. Whitford now batting above 571, his average. He got 5 hits on the season. They're all singles. Stepping into bat, Isaiah Hopkins. Right-handed batter, catcher. Where's number 34? Runner at first base, out of set. Miller, there's the hit. He's going to hit it to center field. And pop it in. It's going to drop in a base hit. Got it off somewhat of the handle, but powered it out in the grass. And Mason Brummett came in a long way. Couldn't make the catch. So Knights with 2 base runners aboard. L.J. Whitford at second base. Isaiah Hopkins at first base. Nobody out. Next batter, number 4 hitter, is number 11, Mikey Stapleton. He is playing second base in today's ball game. Stepping out in front of the plate, Peyton Houchin giving some information to his infield. In on the lip of the grass at first base is Austin Robertson. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Mikey Stapleton, no balls, 1 strike. Stapleton, I tell you what, Mikey Stapleton, Drew Stapleton, he's a baseball player. He is the quarterback. As a freshman, he played quarterback for Coach Brian Ney in Central Catholic. Here comes a pitch, a square to bunt. They put a bunt down, right side, picked up by Miller. He'll go to first base. They'll get the out. They'll move the runners, so mission is accomplished by Mikey Stapleton, the 4 hitter. He is unselfish. Coach Bordenay calls for the bunt. He puts a bunt down, right side, gets the out, but moves the runners. So with 1 out, runners at second and third base. Next batter in the lineup, Lafayette Central Catholic, number 30, 5 hitter, first baseman Gus Sandberg. Gus Sandberg on this young season in 2 games, 7 plate appearances, 6 at bat. He's batting .333, a .429 on base percentage. He got a triple, cleared the bases in game 1. Pitch comes in, strike called, outside half. No balls, 1 strike. Timeout on the diamond. Houchin going to jog over to the dugout. Houchin going to get some help there. And he puts the earpiece back in. So they're going to call the balls and they're going to call the signals from the dugout left side. It's a brand new item. 3 years ago, they put that in. Sometimes the earpiece doesn't work. But you can only listen as a catcher. You cannot transmit verbal signals. Out of set, Miller, here's the pitch. Going to be a base hit. Going to try to drop it in right field. It's going to be caught. Going to tag up from third base. The throw to the plate is brilliant. And L.J. Whitford are going to get caught in a rundown. They're going to say the tag was made. He was trying to get back to third base. And a nice play, Trey Hayworth in right field. Looked like that ball was going to get down. Hayworth made the catch. L.J. Whitford was going to tag up. He got halfway to the plate, and the throw was definitely on target. He had to backtrack, try to get back to third base. And the third out is recorded. So the Knights come up with no runs in the top of the 4th inning. And at the end of 3.5, Twin Lake 2, Central Catholic 0. And again, we'll mention tonight's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. She's a real estate agent with a good, high quality IQ, which will benefit you. That is Lisa. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Lisa knows that each home is precious. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. That's the Sheets Company. You can let Lisa look or let Lisa list. She is highly recommended. She's a real estate agent and a real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can reach her at 317-513-4086. Again, that's 317-513-4086. It's Lisa Stokes Bear. So Isaiah Hopkins back behind the dish, getting some warm-up tosses. Waiting on him was number 7 for the Knights, and that is Cooper Renback. He's a member of the junior class. He's 6'2", 165. They're going to get some final warm-up tosses. Peyton Keller still pitching for the Knights. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. So the wind's blowing. The sun is shining. It said 68 degrees for high today. Yesterday it was 48 for high. Quite a difference. Makes it better availability to play baseball in a little bit of a warmer climate. Like down there in Florida, all them teams have already played 15 games. They've got the warmer climate. So stepping in, Twin Lakes, number 7, Eaton Miller. Working out a stretch. Now it's sad. Here comes a pitch from Keller. Strike called, bottom of the zone. Backdoor curveball just got enough of the plate. No balls, 1 strike to Miller. Here comes a pitch. Hayden Keller. Pitch comes in. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Working from the stretch. Keller. 1-1 count. Eaton Miller. Outside a ball. That was pretty much outside. It goes back to the screen. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Eaton Miller. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Right down meridian. Strike called. Eaton Miller. In yesterday's game, he had 4 at-bats. He got 2 hits. 1 was a double. Here comes a pitch. Back up the middle. Going to be caught for shortstop position. To go for first base, a little bit tall, over the head of Sandberg. And they're going to get him back. I know they're going to say he's safe. So no circumstantial out. They had a chance to get him after retrieving the ball from the foul fence. Isaiah Hopkins quickly threw it to Gus. And Keaton Miller did just get back. So Miller is at first base, nobody out. Stepping into bat for Twin Lakes, number 5, Trey Hayworth. Hayworth's going to step 1 foot in, 1 foot out, look for signals. Coach Burton giving some signals. Stepping back in. Trey Hayworth, right-handed batter. Runner at first base. It's Keaton Miller. Out of the set. Caden Keller here. Pickoff move, first base, back safely, head first. Here's Keaton Miller. He'll step back in. Number 5, 6 hitter, Trey Hayworth. Out of the set. Keller, here's the pitch. He's going to square the bunt. They put a bunt down. It's a good one. Back to the pitcher. Throw to first base. Just does get the out at first. The ball was fielded by Caden Keller. He throws a strike to Gus Sandberg. Mission accomplished. Keaton Miller is at second base. There's 1 out. So number 7 hitter, number 12 on his uniform. That's Austin Robertson. Austin Robertson, first baseman. He's looking for signals from Coach Jake Burton. So no signals given. Keaton Miller At second base, he'll get a little bit of a crooked lead off the bag there. Out of the set position, Keller, he'll step off the back. He wasn't ready to pitch. He has that option. He steps off the back and regathers himself. Now from the set position, Caden Keller, here's the pitch. Gonna pop one up, playable. Foul territory, right side. Gus Sandberg was fighting that wind, made the catch. And what that wind, and we're about like at a Chicago Cubs game right here with the wind blowing. So 2 outs on the diamond. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, it's a 2-run ball game. Twin Lakes in front. Keaton Miller is at second base. Stepping in, Judson Gordon, designated hitter, wears number 10, a right-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. Going to call that a strike. Top of the zone. Hand over fist hittable pitch. There's one strike. No balls, one strike to Gordon. Peering in, looking at signals. Hayden Keller out of the set, check second base. You're going to pick off move, second base. Safe at second, standing up. L.J. Whitford took the throw. A little bit of a foot tanglement there. Everybody's fine. No balls, one strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Hayden Keller. Judson Gordon, the batter. He's the DH. Check second 2 times. Here's the pitch. Outside of ball. 1 ball, one strike. Here and in again, Hayden Keller. Judson Gordon, the batter. Runner at second base is Keaton Miller for the Indians. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Maybe a little bit late decision there. Swing and a miss by Gordon. Count goes 1-2. So crooked lead at second base for Keaton Miller. Out set. Here comes the pitch. It'll be a check swing, foul ball right down the first baseline, but foul. So glove there by Gus Sandberg. So let's stay in the box with a 1-2 count once again. So Judson Gordon. Judson, that's a name you don't hear much for a first name. Working out of the stretch. Peering in, looking at signals. Hayden Keller out of the set, checks second base. Here's the pickoff move at second again. He'll make the throw. And safe at second, standing up. Keaton Miller, he exposes that back to the throw. If you get hit, not going to hurt so bad. And that's why they do it. Working out of the stretch. Now the set, he'll check second. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Foul ball right side. Gus Sandberg, first baseman, makes the catch. And the Knights get out of the inning. And the Indians leave one on base. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning. After 4 complete. Still, Twin Lakes, 2. Central Catholic, nothing. And we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Indiana Express Rentals. Indiana Express Rentals. When you find yourself looking for that dependable moving truck rental company, that high quality choice isn't far away. You can call Indiana Express Rentals. They're at the south edge of Noblesville, Indiana, 1708 South 8th Street. Simply call them 317-773-4800. Again, that number is 317-773-4800. They have up to 26-foot box trucks available, and a truck with a Tommy lift can sure come in handy. That's Indiana Express Rental. Their hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll mention Penske. Penske Truck Rentals. The name Penske alone takes any possible concerns away from any travel. And yet, Roger Penske, owner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that race is coming right up. I tell you what, the basketball tournament that they had the Final Four here in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is first class all the way. They're going to get another Final Four in 2029. Stepping in, number 21 for the Knights, Caden Keller. First pitch from Miller. Swung on, foul ball, out of play, left side. No balls, one strike. Caden Keller, we got the pitcher facing the pitcher. So Keaton Miller is the wind and the pitch. To Keller, he's going to get a base hit. Back up the middle. A third of the way out on the grass. A line shot, base hit off the bat, a no doubter from Caden Keller. So he's helping himself. Gets himself on base. He's going to give way to courtesy runner. Courtesy runner 31, Vincent Talenko. Vincent Talenko is the courtesy runner for Caden Keller. So in the batter's box, we're going to see number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk going to step in. Seventh left fielder. Pickoff move, first base. Back safely is Talenko. Talenko back in playing shape. I tell you what, he was a little bit under the weather, but he's back now. Obviously, here comes the pitch. Going to pop one up. Playable. Second base. Called for by Cooper Dold. He'll catch it in the dirt. He also had to fight that wind. It makes the catch. There's one out. So next batter, number 5. Where's number 5? That is Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, right fielder. Colton Minnick going to step in 2 ball games, 6 plate appearances, 5 at bats. He's batting .400 in that right-handed batter's on base percentage of .500. First pitch, you're going to bunt one. Try to put a bunt down. He goes foul. Ends up in the dugout with the Twin Lakes Indians. Strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike for Colton Minnick. Minnick entered the ball game with 2 hits. He's got a single and a double. He has scored 1 run for the night. He has walked 1 time. He's got 1 RBI. Here's the pitch. Going to pop one. Right side, playable. They're going to look for it, trying to get to it. They will make the catch, Robertson, and they're going to double him up. Talenko couldn't get back on the infield grab out of the air, and the Knights are doubled off, and that's going to complete their 5th inning. So after 4.5, Twin Lakes Indians 2, Central Catholic Knights 0. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies, they are conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. It's 46062. They are just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. It's right there along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide set-up services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepad, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. They have oversized posters and printing available. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone or by text message. You can reach them 317-773-8783 or by email it's discountcopies, the number 96 at gmail.com. So stepping into bat for Twin Lakes. It'll be the 9-hitter, number 33, the catcher, Peyton Houchin. Peyton Houchin, right-handed batter. Going to step in. Still on the pitcher's rubber, Caden Keller for the Knights. He'll work from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch to Houchin. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Houchin, right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher, Caden Keller. Here's the pitch. Going to foul one back to the screen. Count goes 1-1 to Peyton Houchin. And we'll mention Peyton Houchin in the batter's box. He got a base on balls last night. He batted 3 times. Pitch comes in. Ball low. 2 balls, 1 strike. To Houchin. Step back in. Right-handed batter. Looking out of stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, shortstop. Fielded by L.J. Whitford. They'll throw across the diamond and get the put out with Gus Sandberg. There's one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. So next batter going to step in. It's going to be the one hitter, Cooper Dold. Cooper Dold seems to get on base quite often. He's a leadoff batter. He's the first batter in the lineup, I should say, for the Twin Lakes Indians. Working from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch to Dold. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Cooper Dold last night had 3 at bats. He played center field. He played left field just a little bit. He scored 3 runs of the 7. Squared a bunt. He pulled a bat back. Cooper Dold last night uh, bunted the ball with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes a pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cooper Dold had a base on balls last night, as mentioned. He stole 5 bases. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 count. Cooper Dold did strike out once last night. He was hit by pitch once. 3 balls, 1 strike. Caden Keller going to call time in the right-handed batter's box. This umpire calls time. He grants time, but he doesn't point at the batter, letting everybody in the whole place know that he called it. I really don't agree with that. Back to the backstop. Shouldn't point out the batter as the person that called the timeout. The timeout is a timeout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Bottom of the fifth, Keller's delivery. Outside, ball 4 to Dold. Dold's going to draw a walk. So Dold is again on base. 1 out, stepping into bat, the 2-hitter, 27, Mason Brummett. Mason Brummett, center fielder. In this ball game, he started out pitching last night. Out of set position. Here comes the pickoff move, first base. Back safety, no tag applied. Mason Brummett, left-handed batter, straightaway stand. We're giving him the stretch. Keller, pickoff move again. That step was pretty different. I guess the home plate umpire might not have the guts to call it, but I don't know. That was a different one. Here comes the pitch. This comes in high, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Keller is still popping the mitt. 5th inning. 2-0 contest. Indians in front. Tried to check his swing. Home plate umpire not going to need help to call that one a strike on Brummett. Count goes 1-1. I think it was a defensive mechanism by Brummett. Ball was in the batter's box with him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Keller, here comes the pitch. Taking off for second base is Dold. The throw comes in just behind safe sliding Cooper Dold. So Cooper Dold, another stolen base. So 5 last night, a couple maybe today. Cooper Dold, a pretty good guy to have leading off for your ball team. Here and then looking at signals. 2 balls, 1 strike. Left-handed batter, Mason Brummett, might have the timing play on at second base. And a timeout called by Wagner. Wagner says, I can't concentrate. I should say, Brummett, I can't concentrate that long. Looking for an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, getting ready to show up. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. Check second base, here's the pitch. Strike called, bottom of the zone. Outside half, count goes 2-2. 2-2 count, Mason Brummett. Out of the set. Check second base. They're hovering. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball left side. Ends up in the Indians' dugout. Not paying attention. That's the easiest way to pay. PJ, that's it. Thank you. PJ Brummett is Mason's older brother. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he'll go down swinging. There are 2 outs. So next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 6, Carson Wagner. Carson Wagner last night, I should say, he batted 3 times. He got 1 hit. It was a double. He got 1 run scored, and they're going to put him on first base. So Wagner's going to get a direct walk, intentional walk. They're going to do that to get the double play ball in action. My dad used to say if they walk you intentionally, that is a compliment. But I think right here it's for the double play for the force out. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch, check second base. Pickoff move, no throw at second. He'll turn and not throw. And in the batter's box is Tate Goyer. Timeout on the diamond. Coach Bortney going to walk out, talk with his infield with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And we'll talk a little bit about Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach, that's right here in Monticello, Indiana. I used to bring my kids to Indiana Beach back when they were younger. Now my son's 35, my daughter's 33, my other daughter's 31, something like that. But anyway, Indiana Beach, amusement park and water park. You can go to indianabeach.com, pick up a lot of information. A season pass this year, 2026 at Indiana Beach, $77.99. They have exciting roller coasters, boat rides. You can spend a day at the water park. Right now, it's their 100th anniversary there at Indiana Beach. And you can call them 574 583 4141. Stepping back in, Tate Goyer. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Indians batting in the bottom of the 5th. Working from a stretch. Katie Keller, he's going to step off the back. He was looking for a signal that he might like. He steps off the back, he'll step back in. So they're calling signals from the dugout, which Bourdonnais is working this ball game. So he turns and makes no throw to second base again. Heaton Miller is at second base, the runner for the Indians. Here comes the pitch. He's going to be hit by pitch. Tate Goyer in that right-handed batter's box turns his body. It still hits him in the leg. So he's at first base now. 3 base runners on the diamond for the Twin Lakes Indians with 2 out. Stepping in, number 5 hitter, number 7, Keaton Miller, still doing the pitching. He's the pitcher of record for the Indians. Out of set, Caden Keller. Here's the pitch. Low, good block there by Isaiah Hopkins. That pitch was in the dirt. Good short block there by Isaiah with bases loaded. So 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. Caden Keller out of stretch, peers in, looks at signal from Isaiah Hopkins out of a set position. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in a bit above the zone. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strike. Keaton Miller batted 4 times last night. He got 2 hits. 1 was a double. Here comes the pitch. Short hops the glove again. It's a 3-0 count. Keaton Miller, nowhere to put him. Bottom of the 5th. Keaton Miller probably going to have the take sign. We don't know. He looks like he's ready to bat. Out of the set, here comes a pitch by Keller. Strike called right down Meridian. So Keaton Miller had the take sign on. Count goes 3-1 now. We'll see if Keller wants to stay in this. Obviously wants to stay in this count. 3-1 pitch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball right side. Giving it a good look is Gus Sandberg. It goes out of play. So the count goes full. 3-2 count to Keaton Miller. I think I'd call him Keaton Miller at second base. It's Cooper Dold at third base. Here comes the 3-2. Outside, ball 4. And Running on the play, now scoring, is Cooper Dold. So 1 run in here in the 5th. Still 2 out. Bases still loaded. Next batter going to step in. Fixed hitter number 5, Gray Hayworth. And timeout on the diamond. Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out. We'll talk with his infield, and we'll see if we'll see what happens here. He's going to pat him on the back. He did a fine job. Hayden Keller going to jog off the diamond. Hayden Keller went 4 2/3 last night. I believe Gerke, I should say, went 4 2/3. Now back in the going to pitch again tonight is going to be number 12, Alex Schumer. So Alex Schumer going to pitch. He pitched 2 innings last night. He faced 8 batters last night through a total of 25 pitches. Alex Schumer got the win last night. He's 1-0 on the season. He gave up 1 hit. He walked 1 batter. He struck out 3. So Alex Schumer is going to do the pitching right now. And Tatum Adriano has entered the ball game. Tatum Adriano going to go to third base. Tatum Adriano wears number 28. He's a sophomore by class. He's a pitcher and a third baseman. He'll play third right now. He's 5'10", 215. He also pitched last night. He got 1 out to get him out of the jam. So getting some warm-up tosses. Alex Schumer, a right-handed pitcher. And we are at Twin Lakes High School. Second game of a 2-game set. And don't forget, we'll mention Friday. The Knights have picked up a game versus the Indianapolis Kings. That game will happen at Central Catholic. A 6 o'clock start this Friday, the 10th. And then Saturday, they'll have a road trip to Highland, Indiana. So going to step in. That's number 5, Trey Hayworth. Bases loaded for the Indians. There are 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Going in, looking at singles out of the stretch. Alex Schumer, they're going to call time in the batter's box. And Coach Burton thinking about making an adjustment. So he calls time, and he's going to walk in, and he's going to talk to the home plate umpire. And they're going to look at each other's game card, and they're going to send out the second base runner for Goyer. So they're going to go out, and I'm doing the base running is Costin Myers. Costin Myers wears number 16. Listed as an outfielder. He's a sophomore. First pitch comes in, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. In the batter's box, number 5, Trey Hayworth. Bases loaded. We're 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run in here in the 5th for the Indians. Out of set, Alex Schumer. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, perfectly placed. Strike called. Count goes 0-2 to Hayworth. Here and in. Senior athlete, Alex Schumer. Knights have 6 seniors on their ball team. Here comes the pitch. Swung, swing, and a miss. And Alex Schumer gets him out of the inning. So 3 outs, but Twin Lakes does pick up 1 run in the bottom of the 5th after 5 complete. It's a 3-0 contest. Twin Lakes in front. And yes, we do appreciate you tuning in, and we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Fritz in Fishers.com. They buy, they sell, they trade. They'll help you finance your quality car, truck, or SUV. They also buy cars. If you want to sell your car, call Fritz and Fishers. Go online, fritzandfishers.com. They have preferred low mileage and 1-owner automobiles. They have 2 Hamilton County locations. Fritz and Fishers at 8599 East 116th Street, or right there in Noblesville, between Westfield and Noblesville, along State Road 32. You can reach them by phone on 32 at 317-773-2232. Or you can visit them online, or you can stop by on site. FritzandFishers.com. That's FRITZ. The Knights got a bat here in the top of the sixth inning. Coy Dick, center fielder, wears number 2. He's going to step in. Right-handed bat. Still on the pitcher's rubber for Twin Lake. Both feet together. Especially from the windup is Keaton Miller. So Dick steps in, taps the plate. Top of the sixth. Here comes the pitch. Outside half, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Turn in over the glove, Keaton Miller. Here comes the 0-1. Strike 2. They're going to call that one top of the zone. That was top of the zone. Count goes 0-2. Here comes the pitch to Gick. Outside edge, strike called. And Gick is going to walk back to the dugout. He'll go down looking. So with 1 out, next batter to step in, going to be the one hitter. Number 12, Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer, now the pitcher of record. Came in last inning, 4 2/3. Hit by Keller. Here comes the pitch. Inside low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Top of the sixth. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Swung on. He'll take it to right field. They come in just a tad, make the catch. Trey Hayworth makes the grab. There are 2 outs. So 2 outs, top of the sixth. Next batter going to be number 3, L.J. Whitford. L.J. Whitford going to step in. He's played in 2 ball games, 9 plate appearances entering tonight's game. 7 at bats. He's batting .571. First pitch comes in low, ball 1. L.J. Whitford on base percentage entered tonight with a .667. Pitch comes in outside edge, strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whitford has entered the game with 4 singles on the season in 2 games. Pitch comes in outside off the glove of Alchin. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. L.J. Whitford, he scored 4 runs in the first 2 games. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, going to call it a strike. Going to have to protect. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sophomore athlete playing shortstop tonight. Going to call time. Wasn't quite ready. Keaton Miller was a little more ready than Whitford. Whitford is granted time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul ball, right side. He'll stay in the box with a 2-2 count. Whitford on the season has 3 RBI, 1 stolen base. Here comes the wind and the 2-2. Swung on, ground ball, first base side. Nice grab. Had to go down in a hurry. Out at first. And Keaton Miller covers first base nicely for the first baseman, Robertson. So the Knights will put on their gloves. They'll play defensively. Knights come up with no runs in the top of the 6th. And we'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Twin Lakes Indians 3, Central Catholic Knights 0. And I will also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by the Ultimate Kentucky Getaway. If you're looking for the Ultimate Kentucky Getaway, escape to a one-of-a-kind retreat in the heart of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, where rolling hills, world-famous distilleries, and unforgettable memories await. Welcome to your private 6-bedroom estate set on 7 scenic acres of peaceful countryside. Spend your days exploring legendary bourbon stops. Then come home to unwind in the hot tub under the stars. Challenge your friends to a game of billiards or practice your swing on the putting green. Or you can just relax by the fire pit as the night sets in. And when it's time to wind down your private movie theater, the room is waiting. Whether it's a bourbon weekend, family gathering, or group getaway, there's space, and something for everyone. No crowd, no stress, just comfort, connection, and the true spirit of Kentucky. For questions or direct booking, you can text 317 442 7513. Again, that number is 317 442 7513. They do all their bookings through Airbnb. That is the ultimate Kentucky getaway. So again, some final warm-up tosses. Coach Bourdonnais has inserted Gus Sandberg from first base. He'll do the pitching here in the bottom of the sixth. They'll throw a frozen rope to second base. The Knights will put the ball back in the glove of Gus Sandberg. So the first batter here in the bottom of the sixth is going to be number 12, Austin Robertson. Robertson made that good play. Final out, top half. That ball kind of died on the hop. Everybody thought it was going to hop high, but it hopped low, and he made a good play. So he'll step in, right-handed batter. Austin Robertson working from the windup. Gus Sandberg, first pitch. Swung on, third base off the glove of Alex Schumer. It'll tear him to shortstop, and the throw is made from shortstop by L.J. Whitford. And they get the put out at first base. So they're going to put that in the book. They'll put that in the book at 5-6-3. So stepping into bat with one out, number 10, Judson Gordon. A little bit of an open stance on the inside. Here comes a wide in the pitch from Gus Sandberg, low for ball one. 1 ball, no strike. Bottom of the sixth inning, a 3-0 contest. Indians in front. Ball comes in high for ball two. 2 balls, no strike. Working from the windup, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch inside, nearly. They're going to say it got him on his shirt sleeve. They're going to say it got him enough on the shirt sleeve. It was close. Gordon going to jog down to first base. Home plate umpire, he's got ears. He might have heard that. And a runner on board with one out. So Gordon's at first base, stepping in. 9-hitter, number 33, Peyton Houchin. He is the catcher, working from the stretch. Gus Sandberg, set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, finishes high. Ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, looking for signals from Coach Burton. Very few given. Working out a stretch, now the set. Sandberg, here's the pitch, swing, foul ball towards the Indians' dugout. Indians do have some bullpen activity down the left field line. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner at first base is Judson Gordon. Out of set position. Gus Sandberg, here's the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Baseballs are a commodity. Got to have a baseball, and balls are leaving the park. A lot of foul balls in today's ball game. So stepping back in, Peyton Houchin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gus Sandberg from the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, he'll pop it up, might be playable. Isaiah Hopkins giving it a look. It got high on the screen. High on the screen, couldn't make the play. But a good effort by Isaiah Hopkins. 1 ball, 2 strike. The 33, Peyton Houchin, the 9-hitter. 1 out. Runner at first base for the Indians. Judson Gordon. Here and in looking at singles. Got Sandberg out of the set position. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. Going to drive it to the left field. Van Kirk going to move to his right. He'll make the catch. And Gordon will retreat back to first base. So 2 outs here in the sixth. Gus Sandberg Sandberg getting his first action on the pitcher's rubber this season. This is game 3 for the night. So stepping into bat, number 2, Cooper Dold. He is a one-hitter, and Coach Burton wants to talk to Cooper Dold. Actually, he's going to make an adjustment. He's going to bring Judson Gordon in off the surface, and the runner is going to be Ledger Schaefer. Ledger Schaefer wears 47. He's an outfielder by trade, a junior class member. Ledger Schaefer, if I'm not mistaken, pretty good basketball player. Pretty good, might be an understatement. So stepping in, Cooper Dold. So Ledger Schaefer is the runner for the Indians at first base. He's going to be called a pinch runner. I take that back. He's going to be a courtesy runner. Nope. He's going to be a courtesy runner for the catcher. So Cooper Dold is going to be the next batter in the lineup. And home plate umpire, evidently, Coach Bourdonnais pointed something out from the scorecard. Now the home plate umpire is conversing with Coach Burton. We'll see if Ledger Schaefer is on today's card. But we'll see what the call is. And Coach Bourdonnais going to reconverse with the home plate umpire. I don't want to be wrong with what I'm thinking right now, but talking maybe about the scorecard. Ledger Schaefer is at first base. He's going to play. He's going to run for Judson Gordon. Now the infield umpire is going to come out and talk with the home plate umpire. We're going to compare knowledge. Baseball is quite a different game. There is a lot of rules in the game of baseball. A lot of rules. And they all change no matter if you're playing high school, college, or play with home rules. So the infield umpire is going to talk with Coach Bourdonnais. Roger Schaefer is standing at first base. Time is out. Roger Schaefer, as mentioned, a junior, and he is a good basketball player, correct? Very good. And football, quite an athlete. I saw him play basketball against the Blue Devils. He was impressive. Impressive. Runs track. How'd you do all that? Wow. I remember Doug Mitchell from Hamilton Heights ran track and also played baseball. But he didn't play baseball on the day he had to run track. But he played at Butler University, played basketball, coached the North Central um, Panthers, I guess it is, for 24 years plus. So stepping in, Cooper Dole. There's 2 outs. Runner at first base is Ledger Schaefer. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Kind of caught him off balance here. That was a breaking pitch, and took some off of it. No balls, 1 strike to Dole. Dole, if to my recollection, has been on base twice in this ball game. Out of the set, here comes the pitch from Sandberg. You're going to pop one up, center field. Gick is going to drive back. He'll move to his left. He'll make the catch. And Cooper Dole flies out to center for the final out, the bottom of the 6th inning. So no runs across the plate. At the end of 6 complete, Twin Lakes 3, Central Catholic haven't scored. They're going to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. And again, we thank you for listening. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Camino and Company. Camino and Company, we welcome you and your patronage at Camino and Company, the mobile flower shop and wedding studio. It's based in downtown Noblesville. You'll find Camino and Company on the north side of the courthouse square, 876 Logan Street. Camino and Company started with a dream and grew with the love of their community. That same love for stories and celebrations now lives in Camino Coffee. Your coffee with a story. Every cup is inspired by our founders and Grandpa's 1984 El Camino SS. We thank Noble Coffee and Tea for helping us to provide Camino Coffee. That's CaminoCoffee.com. CaminoCoffee.com. You'll be glad you did. Check out that website. It's my daughter, Carly. Well, Brett. So first batter here in the top of the seventh, number 34, Isaiah Hopkins. Isaiah Hopkins plays the catcher's position for the night. Right-handed batter. Still on the hill. Keaton Miller. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball foul right side. Picked up by the first base coach. That is A.J. Bourdonnais. He played shortstop for the Knights. He played shortstop at Marian University. He's the first base coach. No balls, one strike. Working from the windup. Keaton Miller, here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back to the screen. Just underneath the baseball. Count goes 0-2. 34, Isaiah Hopkins in 2 ball games, 8 at bat. 8 plate appearances, 7 at bats. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Step back in. Isaiah Hopkins batting 286. Here comes a pitch. Going to take one to center field. It's going to back him up a little bit. Mason Brummett going to make the catch. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. So next batter will step in. It's going to be number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Mikey Stapleton in 2 ball games, 8 plate appearances, 7 at bats. He's batting .429. Mikey Stapleton entered the game with 3 hits. He's got 2 singles and a double. Breaking pitch comes in tight. Ball 1. Last night, it was sure hard to throw a breaking pitch when you couldn't get the grip. 1 ball, no strikes, a step out. Umpire grants time to step back in. Keaton Miller working from the windup. Here comes the wind, and here's the 1-0 pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. And Mikey Stapleton takes his cut. First strike. Count goes 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Outside ball 2. Mikey Stapleton. 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double. He got 1 RBI. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-1 count. Keaton Miller has every base available. Probably not going to give something good to Mikey Stapleton. Here's the pitch. High above the zone, ball 4. So we're going to call a timeout on the diamond. They're going to walk out. They're going to talk with Keaton Miller. Keaton Miller has gone 6 and a third. I believe they'll keep him in the ball game. They're going to talk something over there. And again, we mentioned the game being brought to you by Fritz and Fishers. Fritz wrote this up for me last year when I went to Evansville, did the semi-state for University High School. He says, hit a home run with a car from Fritz and Fishers. He also says Fritz is knocking it out of the park with great deals this summer and spring. So slide in and get a deal. You will be safe for sure at Fritz and Fishers. That's fritzandfishers.com, Fritz. So they'll leave Keaton Miller in the ballgame to have a little conversation with the infield. And stepping into bat, Gus Sandberg. The Knights have 1 aboard. Mikey Stapleton at first base. Right-handed batter, Gus Sandberg. Facing the righty, Keaton Miller. First pitch, ground ball right down the third baseline, going to make it to the outfield. Gets by Goyer. Goyer didn't have a shot to catch it. Gonna slip down there in left field. No harm done. Ball's gonna be thrown back in by number 9, Josh Crowell. So runners at first and second, and Sandberg finds a base hit down the third baseline. So Caden Keller is the next batter in the lineup, and they're going to put in a Coach Bourdonnais making an adjustment. So 31, Talenko. Vincent Talenko, let's see. Vincent Talenko back out in the ball game. He's going to run for Gus Sandberg. So runners at first and second, one out in the batter's box. Keller, that's Caden Keller. First pitch comes in outside a ball. So Knights have 2 aboard. It's a 3-run ball game. Timeout on the diamond. Coach Burton is going to go out and wonder if Talenko is available to run for Gus Sandberg. Sandberg was just entered as the pitcher, so he is the pitcher of record. But Vincent Talenko has already run for the catcher, I believe it was. I think it was Isaiah Hopkins. But we'll see what happens here. But it's all a game of strategy. I tell you what, the chess game, there's a lot of chess game involved in baseball. So the home plate umpire is going to go out and converse again with the infield umpire. So they're going to talk it over and find out. So runners on first and second. For the moment, Vincent Talenko is the courtesy, I should say the courtesy runner for the pitcher. So it might not have been Hopkins, but I don't think that Keller has gotten on base yet, or maybe he did. But they talked it over. I think we're gonna go on and play the game. I think was it Keller? If it was, he was the pitcher, so he's running for the pitcher then. So they're double checking. Is that all right? Okay, so they're both running for the pitcher's position. That's what Vincent Talenko is doing. So they're going to play on. There's one out. Top of the 7th inning. It's a 3-run ball game. Twin Lakes in front. It's a home game for Twin Lakes. Knights batting in the top of the 7th with 2 runners on first and second. And Caden Keller at the plate. At the set position, here's the pitch. You're going to pop one up. Going to go to center field, shallow. It's going to be caught by Mason Brummett for the second out in the inning. So Keller flies out to shallow center field. Brennan Van Kirk is the next batter in the lineup for the Knights. So 2 aboard, first and second. And stepping in, right-handed batter, Brennan Van Kirk. So peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Eaton Miller checks second base. Here comes the pitch to Van Kirk. Low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike, straightaway stance, right-handed batter's box. Brennan Van Kirk. Out of the set, Keaton Miller checks second. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop, going to be fielded there by Wagner. He'll throw to first, and he's safe at first. Brennan Van Kirk was on his horse. Runners move to second and third base. Going to be an infield hit. Carson Wagner was deep in the hole. He had to run a good distance to make that play off the grass. He gave it what he could. It was a bang-bang play at first base. So the bases are loaded for the Knights. Next batter, 8-hitter, number 5, Colt Minnick. Peering in, looking at signals, Keaton Miller. Alice said he'll check third base. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike call. No balls, 1 strike. 3 runners on base for the Knights. It's a 3-run ball game. Twin Lake in front. Top of the 7th. Here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. Let's step back in. Colton Minnick batting 400 entering this game. He's got 2 hits, a single and a double. Ground ball, second base, be fielded there by Cooper Dole. He'll throw to first base. They'll get the put out with Austin Robertson, and that's going to complete today's ball game. So again, 3 years consecutive, the Knights and the Indians split their doubleheader in the West Division of the Hoosier Conference. We thank you for tuning in. We thank Mr. Butch Kramer. He's always a joy to work with. And we thank you for being here. And until next time, the Knights will play Friday, 6 o'clock home game, Indianapolis Kings. They'll play on Friday. Weather permitting, we imagine there will be a game, 6 o'clock Friday at Gordon Leming Field. Until then, thank you for tuning in. And we'll mention no matter if you're home or away, if you're doing the teaching and the learning, don't let him go. Keep the fire burning.